Holy shit, here we are again. I feel like this is like deja vu at this point. Been doing this a lot. Hey Hanzo, like we've done this a lot in the last 14 days, and like it's almost over. It's finally almost over. This is it, guys. Hey Carol, this is it, everybody. The final. It's the final live stream. Never doing that again. Here we are. This is it. I'm exhausted. I've sang. I've danced. I've Patreoned. Thank you, Zach. I've run my mouth. I've said a lot of things. But finally, we are here. So don't stop us now. Because we're having such a good time. We're having a ball. Or, you know, there's one way to talk about this week. So Ray's not here for this, so I can do this without him just without Ray doing this in the middle of me. You know, it's been a long 2 weeks here on Alice Living Universe. We started with a takeover. Hit 500 subs. Lots of things went down. The week was pirate themed, so we told you that this was the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow. You wanted more, so we gave you more. We got there, and I told you to not stop us now. We're having such a good time. We're having a ball. I threatened the music video if I won at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns made me represent. He's the tribal chief, don't you know? And so I told you, this is the real life. It was not fantasy, but really I was never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around or desert her. Because Goldie and I are not gonna be separated. Thank you, Zach. Final stream kind of set. I know, it's kind of crazy. But hey, it's not the final stream forever. We'll be back at the next WWE pay-per-view. We'll be back next Friday for a watch-along as voted on by Patreons. I'll be back with more ARW. ARW's got a special in the morning at noon. Yeah, you get the point. ARW's got a special tomorrow at noon. That's really the final thing I've got. Sunday is my first day off of YouTube in 2 weeks now. And yeah, it's almost over. I didn't put this on Twitter yet because I actually was going to put something else on Twitter. So I started recording the build up to ARW's May special because the last episode I have recorded comes out tomorrow. So I needed to get as much done as I could. So I've been recording ARW. I actually had to ditch right before the main event of an episode to go live for you guys. But it's fine. As soon as this episode of SmackDown is over, I'm going to go back to recording that. I'll record that main event. It'll be like 10 o'clock by the time SmackDown's over, and it'll be like another 15 minutes. What, after Saturday, are you going to sleep all day? Yep. If I can. I don't know. I got dogs. They don't let me. Anyway, I'm going to record that main event of ARW. It's only going to take me like probably 15 minutes at most for that matchup, given what I've got booked for it. And then I will try and record at least 2 more. I've only got 5 episodes to do for this month of ARW, the 4 weekly episodes and the special, of course, which is Reality Check. If you guys don't know what Reality Check, it's ARW's Money in the Bank, except for everyone talks about getting hit with a reality check. ARW is alternate reality wrestling. So I'm switching on the side of my earbud. So people cash in a reality check on the champion, hit them with a reality check. They're no longer champion, essentially. I mean, there's only been one so far, so, you know. And fun fact, the one we did last year aired on the day I moved into this house. So little bit of a sentimental value there. Is ARW hard to book? Yes and no. So yes, in terms of I have to try and keep things fresh with all these characters, and I have to try and heed some of the demands because, you know, I like pushing certain people in ARW, but other people may not like that. Or I have to explain who more people are to the fans of ARW. Like I had to explain the other day who Captain Falcon was or who Little Mac was. It doesn't matter. I had to explain who one of my favorite people to use in ARW was. And, you know, you also get there was a lot of demand for Spider-Man this time last year in ARW. I get PlayStation messages about ARW. I get DMs about ARW. I get emails about ARW. I'm not even kidding. I've gotten emails about ARW. Whereas Universe, the only reason Universe is harder to book is I do have another force I've got to go through with Ray, who is there to tell me, Zander, that's a bad idea, or when I have an idea I think is really good, to just go, no. Or to tell me it's a good idea. But also, ARW is easier to book in terms of shit like what happened yesterday doesn't happen with ARW. Fictional characters and celebrities can't get fired from ARW because they never actually worked there. So who wants me to talk about the releases yesterday? Because I made sure not to talk about them during ARW's chat yesterday. Like, put a pinned message saying, I don't want to talk about this tonight because I was in a pissed off mood. So, how about we talk about the events of yesterday, shall we? Black Thursday, I believe they're calling it, right? Because, oh boy, I was wondering when this subject was going to come up. Oh, Carol, it is coming up, all right. Because it didn't EC3 us. It did not EC3 day title reign. Probably the only non-superhero and doof person I know is Slender Man. Well, yeah, but, you know, Samoa Joe, I need the input. So, yeah, well, the thing with Samoa Joe is we don't know if Samoa Joe was mutual, like a mutual agreement, or like if he knew it was coming or not. Because Joe handled it pretty well, from what I can tell, with just the gif of Jim Carrey bowing his way out of the Truman Show. But at the same time, Joe may have known it was coming. Joe may not have known it was coming. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. Talking about how they fucked me over with the universe again. Again. If you guys don't remember, Black Wednesday last year happened 3 days after SummerSlam aired. 3 days after we put the world title on EC3 and the tag titles on Gallows and Anderson. And a month later, Braun Strowman and Drake Maverick were going to be the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So 4 out of those 5 people had gotten released on that day. Yes, Drake Maverick got rehired, but he was going to be part of the act with EC3, and we didn't know he was going to be rehired at the time. Suppose we should talk about this. The departure of the Iconics, the departure of Mickie James, and the departure of Chelsea Green means I can't do the women's tag division anymore because the Iconics were going to be holding that division on their backs. And Mickie James and Chelsea Green were both part of tag team. Essentially, they just shrunk my women's tag division from just by those 4 cuts, shrunk my division by 3 teams. I'm also going to miss Peyton and Billy. Bo Dallas, Kalisto, Tucker, Mojo. Those guys obviously weren't doing much in real life. They weren't doing much in universe. It sucks not to have them. Same with Wesley Blake, because you know how much of a habit I'd gotten into in booking universe. So-and-so defeats Bo Dallas on Raw, or defeats Wesley Blake on Raw, Bo Dallas on SmackDown. Same with Mojo. I'm going to miss having them around. It has cut Raw's roster. I went in and took them off of the rosters today in Universe. It cut Raw's roster down significantly. Like, significantly. We need to talk about the big guy. We got to talk about Samoa Joe. Because Samoa Joe is the one that's hit us the hardest. Those of you that don't know, in the L11 universe, Samoa Joe is the right-hand man to Damian Sandow. Samoa Joe is the right-hand man to the Raw general manager. Samoa Joe is clearly part of big stories by being affiliated with the Raw general manager, which means that we just lost a key player in a big feud, a big story. I can't tell you what the story is with Joe because it's still got to play out over these next 2 months that we have.
Hi.
Hi. Could you smell me monologuing?
Yeah.
So as I was saying, Samoa Joe was going to be part of a big story,
Mm-hmm.
and before anyone says a fucking word in the comments, people I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a way to clip in from live streams, but if they do, share this clip around with people that watch the LS11 universe because not everyone here watches these live streams. Not everyone in the LS11 universe watches these live streams. I've said before, I'll say it again. We are pre-recorded through Survivor Series. 2 months. That's 2 months.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe is a big part of those 2 months. If I see a single, I don't care if you're joking or not, a single fucking comment about why are you still using Samoa Joe? He's not with the company anymore. I am holding nothing back and verbally lashing out at whomever tells me Samoa Joe's not in the company anymore because nobody knows better than us that he's not in the fucking company anymore. If you've ever wondered what I looked like when EC3 got fired 3 days after we gave him the world title, Ray can confirm this was about how I looked.
Stop having joyous times, children.
So, as I
No.
was saying,
No to all of that. Take off that hat.
I have to wear the hat right now. Don't because there's a giant zit right where my hair is, and the hat keeps it hidden.
Okay.
Anyway, so nobody tell us that Samoa Joe isn't in wrestling, isn't in WWE anymore. If you see him in Universe these next 2 months, because we know this stuff's been recorded since February and March. We know. Don't worry.
Yes, Hanzo, I am half British. Therefore, actually, I'm not. But I practically am. I just don't like the sound of joy. Or merriment. I'm dead inside. Yeah.
Long story short, we have the perfect ending to Samoa Joe recorded already. It just kind of worked out. I won't tell you what it is because that would be a spoiler. What I will tell you is that his ending, surprisingly, really, really worked out down to what I say about him. And when you guys see it, you might think that line from Zander didn't age well.
That one didn't age quite so well.
So, yeah. That's the Samoa Joe story. What were the plans for Samoa Joe? I'll tell you after WrestleMania. Because fuck is all I can say. Ray has now got it in his phone as a recurring event on April 15th. Don't plan Universe past this date.
Yeah. But just knowing fans, he'll probably be like, "Yeah, let's start releasing people on April on January 3rd. Let's do that. Yeah, sounds fun."
So yeah. Vince dropped the ball on Peyton and Billy. I feel like you could sub in any one of those 10 people. And that sentence would still work. So we're just a minute away from SmackDown. How are you, Ray? I haven't talked to you today.
It's on Fox. I'll find it eventually.
Well, we can cancel our YouTube TV free trials after today.
Yep. Because we can't keep those. Those are expensive.
Hell no.
If it was like $15 a month, I'd consider it.
Yeah.
That made
it was amazing. I think he's referring to today's episode of Universe, the Gargano and McIntyre main event.
Oh.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. You guys will see where the story with Gargano, Orton, and Ciampa is going. Hayden, hello. Welcome to the stream.
There's Hayden. There's Rushing.
Yep.
But we
Yeah.
kind of have our own like cast of the Daily Show going, but we're missing our John Oliver.
I get the joke, and I want to laugh,
What?
but I know I shouldn't.
Why?
John Oliver because he's British.
Yeah. You're the Jon Stewart. I'm
Were
Stephen
you Conan
Colbert.
O'Brien?
No, I'm Stephen Colbert.
Okay. Let's see where this goes.
We got Carol.
Preemptively on the remove button, just in case.
Carol is Samantha Bee.
Okay.
See here? He's not here yet. Dang it. I was gonna say, well, they're interchangeable at this point. Shinobi and Hanzo are, I can't remember one of the guy's name, but the other one's Ed Helms. And then you have Chopper as John Oliver.
Today, everyone will acknowledge Henry Travel Chief. I don't know where you got the idea that we don't like Roman. I praised Roman like hell on Sunday during WrestleMania.
I'm just like,
I've always been a Roman guy. Even when he was like the most pushed guy in the company, I was still kind of behind him.
so the rumors are tonight that Roman Reigns will start a title feud in the main event with Big E.
I would not be against that.
Yeah.
Remember, Big E is who I picked to win the Royal Rumble.
There is some lines from Colbert I could see myself saying, like when he's doing like basically his Fox News impersonator, and he's he said, now mostly the people who Pat McAfee's here.
Oh yeah.
He's like mostly the people who pick. Now, some would say that the immigration work in this country is important because they help out with fruits and vegetables. The obvious solution for all Americans is to stop eating fruits and vegetables. And if you look at the obesity rates, it's clear some brave Americans have already begun.
Hello, Roman. It's kind of nice to. It's nice to start SmackDown with Roman.
Yep. See it.
Who do you think will win the Royal Rumble next year? I'm going with Randy. I think he will tie the record. God, I hope not. I never want to see Randy Orton touch a world title or go near one ever again. Being honest with you, I just don't want to. Finn, I don't see that. I don't see them giving Finn the Rumble win. Cesaro or Big E would be my bold picks. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Zander, wouldn't this year have been the right year to have Cesaro or Big E win? Yes, which is why I think they'll wait a year and do it then, because they're not going to strike with the they're not going to strike the iron while it's hot. They're going to wait until it's cooled down. Are you taking attendance for your regulars yet? Yeah, I've stopped taking attendance. It's the final day. Exams are over. Do I have the WrestleMania score sheet where I was keeping score of our predictions mounted on my wall next to my other championships I've won? Maybe. So I'm just saying, by the way. Because this seems like something WWE would do. Apparently, they're going to address tonight the fact that Roman put Edge on top of Bryan, so technically Edge pinned Bryan.
Yeah.
If they reverse the decision tonight, and Edge is technically champion, meaning he won at WrestleMania, which means you would have won at WrestleMania. I'm just going to FedEx overnight the belt to you or something.
That would be amazing.
That would be the worst thing to ever happen to me.
It's like 5 days after you're like sitting there like, ooh, yeah, still champ. Edge technically won the match. I'm not having my hopes up about it. I don't think they're gonna do that to Roman.
Yeah, it seems just WWE enough for them to do it though. Doesn't it?
I don't think they're doing that to Roman, man.
I hope not.
I could see them doing that to anyone else, but Vince has been desperate for us to like Roman for years and believe him as top guy, and he's finally got it.
Edge's shoulders were to the mat as well. Yes, but again, as I said,
have you ever seen how Shawn Michaels pins people?
Shawn Michaels throws his whole, essentially pins people with his legs.
Yeah,
would kill his woman. Exactly.
Have you ever seen how Shawn pins people? How I'm trying to think. Dolph pins people the same way. You want to know something funny? So I don't know if you know this. Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, is a really big Bret mark. He loves Bret Hart. And he's one of the Bret marks that hates Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my point. So I'm thinking that's why, because apparently Dolph and Dean hadn't liked each other, even before their 2016 WWE title feud, and like it primarily stemmed from the fact that Dean Ambrose thought Shawn wasn't that good. Which the older I get, yeah, the less of a fan I am of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I'm aware. I have forgotten what Pat McAfee sounds like, so that caught me off guard when he started talking there.
Greatest wrestler of all time? Are you asking me who is my favorite wrestler of all time, or are you saying Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time? Because I disagree. Shawn Michaels was my first favorite. Yes, I get that. And I'm not saying he's completely bad. I'm saying his matches are, you get one of 3 matches with Shawn Michaels.
See you, Carol.
Huh?
I said, see you, Carol, just making sure she heard us before she has to leave.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler, probably, I'm a big Edge fan.
Yeah, Edge is your guy. Triple H has always been up there for me. Macho Man's up there nowadays.
Yeah. Here's some like out of the box picks I was thinking of that would honestly be on my favorites list. Ricky Steamboat. I'm a big fan of Ricky Steamboat. Not just the Macho Man match, but the Flair trilogy is amazing. Brian Pillman.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I know you I've lined my stance on Bret Hart. I actually kind of more enjoy Bret now. I know you're not a big fan of Bret at all. I will say Owen Hart is still the best Hart. Like, not a lot of the Harts have charisma. I think Owen Hart has charisma. Or had charisma. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, if you want to like break down my favorite wrestlers, it's either Edge is his favorite, not best of all time. Edge or Mick Foley. I'm a massive fan of Mick Foley. Hanzo, I'm not going to hear you out on Carlito. That's not something I want to hear you out on. I'm shutting it down now. No.
Yeah.
Nothing you can follow the. It's like when you say, okay, guys, listen. Green apple Kool-Aid is not that bad. Wait, hear me out. Just hear me out.
Remember when Carlito was back for like 2 weeks this year?
Yeah, everyone loves Foley. Foley is almost too nice for the wrestling business.
Yeah, why do you think we love Foley here? Why do you think we had him challenging for the title at the Royal Rumble?
Oh! I think you're a few seconds ahead of me. Oh, yeah!
Here we go. This is a world title feud if I've ever seen one. Ooh. Only downside about this is they're not taking the belt off Roman yet. And I would love this guy to be the one to take it off of him.
They could have everyone walk out and challenge for the title. Oh, he's about to talk. I wish he'd go, hey, Paul, how have you been? Just acknowledge that. I think KO come out too. No, not Kevin. We saw a long drawn out feud between Kevin Owens and Roman. I've had enough of it.
Honda, to answer your question, Cesaro just came out and had a stare down with Roman, who walked away. Another person for Roman to destroy. He's not going to destroy him, Zach. He is not destroying Cesaro. This week has been so chaotic. I have regrown my 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, it's done, guys.
I gotta eat dinner at some point tonight. So are the people going to see me eat dinner tonight? Possibly. Cesaro's champ would be amazing. Agreed.
I was anticipating Big E, and I'm happy Cesaro's getting his feud. I think maybe Cesaro should have had one more singles feud before jumping.
Well, the thing with Big E, I think they want to use Big E to get Apollo Crews, his new guy, his new heavy, over before they move Big E up the card.
Nah, I don't like that. I think you do that with someone else.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm just saying I think that's what's happening. So I saw a thing today. It was kind of funny.
What?
And I don't know why I'm telling you this. I just have a strange feeling you might appreciate this. It was a clip from an interview with, I believe it was Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
And he said, when Nirvana got big, I didn't get my money and go, oh man, I'm gonna blow this all on hookers and drugs. No, I thought, sweet, I can get a bigger grill.
Did the Traeger ad just pop up for you too?
No.
Huh. It's.
You think we might see a Seth Rollins Roman Reigns feud soon? Probably not.
Not for
I wouldn't think so.
Not for a minute.
I think Seth will go into a feud with someone else.
I wouldn't protest him being the one to fight Apollo next.
Yeah, I wouldn't protest a Rollins Big E feud if it's going to help get Big E over.
Yes, we get WrestleMania the other day. It was a pretty good show without the first two matches of night 2.
Yeah.
If you cut the first, I'm not even talking from a points perspective, just from a quality perspective. If you had cut the first 2 matches of night 2, that's a really good WrestleMania.
The first 2 matches were
Fiend Orton, and then the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
You shouldn't be complaining from a points perspective. You're the only one that got points out of those 2 matches.
Hey, Sonya Deville.
Why is she an authority figure? I don't know.
Who knows? And now I'm sitting here wondering, okay, Sonya is an actually good wrestler. Why not have put Billie Kay in Sonya Deville's position, since Billie Kay is great at comedy?
So here's a fun question. We going to see Roderick Strong tonight, you think?
Possibly. Okay. So, do we agree that the best match on WrestleMania was Seth versus Cesaro?
Yep.
And, okay, I agree. I would say the best story-wise was Roman in the Triple Threat.
Yes and no, but yeah. Okay, continue.
Hello, Otis.
This is awkward.
I'm still mad that Seth lost. JJ, why? Why? Seth has been over for 7 years. Almost. Seth has been over as a main event talent for almost 7 years. 6.5, I would say. And he's getting to that point in his career where, he's not going downhill by any means. I don't think we're near the end of Seth Rollins' run, but he's big enough at this point where he can afford to lose and put some guys over, especially guys like Cesaro who need the opportunity. And maybe Otis should still be with Tucker, and they should have Chad Gable lose to Seth because Chad Gable is awesome.
I'm glad Cesaro won. He deserves that win. Agreed. Hello, Shinobi. Yeah. Hell, if you want to do this story of Otis has to get serious, have Chad Gable teach Heavy Machinery how to get serious.
Look, I'm not judging. I'm in the middle of my own thing myself with it. Go on a low-carb diet. Trim a few. Try not to look as comedic. Maybe cut your beard down a bit. Or put on a mask and try to look like Vader.
Remember when Otis was super over last year?
I'm not convinced he was over. I think everyone was telling us he was over because there was no fans in attendance and we just believed them. I love
Hanzo
how
gets it.
I love how they introduce Rey
That.
Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, well, introducing with his son Dominic.
And one of his
Rey.
career highlights is he's the father of Dominic and Aaliyah Mysterio.
Of course, Liam Mysterio is gonna have the next royal wedding with Buddy Murphy.
I think they're broken up now because Murphy's randomly heel again.
I'm just have this visual in my head of Rey Mysterio and Seth dressed like House Capulet and Montague coming across the dead bodies of Buddy Murphy and Rey Mysterio's daughter in a Romeo and Juliet-esque wedding. Ending in like, for never there have been a more tale of woe.
I'd just like to acknowledge that our split up of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy was a much better told story.
Because we took our time.
I mean, I was recapping it in my head. I was recapping. So on my drive home, or not home, yeah, on my drive home from class today, turns out I didn't even have to go in person. I could have just stayed at home all day. Oh well, I got Zaxby's out of it. Anyway, tastes better than Arby's. Anyway, I was recapping our Seth Rollins and Murphy story. Wonder why I mentioned Zach in the same breath as Seth Rollins. Anyway, I was recapping that story in my head of Rollins versus Murphy. And I realized just how freaking long that story built for a year.
Oh yeah, we had that building for a while. Let's take a message.
I like how they're treating it like Rey Mysterio's never wrestled a man bigger than him before.
Oh my god. So my cousin, she listens to lots of podcasts about true crime and tragedies. And now she's sending me questions about Chris Benoit.
Can I just go to bed?
I was like, why? Why did you have to listen to that podcast?
Ray, aren't you glad that Rey Mysterio got his son Dominic in his corner?
Are we going towards like a long-term tag team feud between these two teams? Wait, Gable's about to get. Is Gable going to get involved?
Could you imagine Chad Gable on a singles run in NXT? Except he doesn't have Otis's shoulders down, Maggle.
Okay.
Look, I like Rey Mysterio as much as the next wrestling fan. Probably a little bit less. But Rey Mysterio has a bad history of botching crucifix pins.
I would love it. I know she's working for AEW. If if Vicky Guerrero came back and she had the briefcase and she was like, "That's right, Dominic was mine all along." Just
Everyone agreeing in the chat that Chad Gable needs a push.
Paul Heyman's face right now could be a meme.
Paul Heyman himself is just a walking meme. Oh, hell yeah.
Up next.
That's a main event match. What the hell?
Did they mess up the graphic?
No, because I think Mac will just set up next too. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go grab dinner.
To be fair, though, Maggle messed up a bunch of calls over WrestleMania weekend. It was bad.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go heat up my dinner.
I'm always thinking about weird movies to make based on wrestling people. Like WWE's Pineapple Express with Matt Riddle as James Franco. And then you got Sami Zayn as Seth Rogen's character. And then you have Kevin Owens as Danny McBride. And Vince McMahon himself playing the drug kingpin. No, he doesn't, Zach. Very inspiring cover, Zander.
What's up?
Very inspiring cover.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you guys could hear me. I'm used to you taking me off the stream when I walk away. So, did I miss anything?
No, just commercials.
KO needs to turn heel. I don't necessarily agree. I think SmackDown's got enough heels with Rollins, with Roman, with Apollo. Good news, Aleister Black was seen in the PC training. According to Pro Wrestling Unlimited, they're filming trailers for his return. Well, we're going to see where that goes. We're not going to make plans until we see where it goes. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
Okay, if they ever make a biopic about Paul Heyman, Paul Giamatti has to play Paul Heyman. That has to happen. You know the actor I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. My kosher tookus.
I love this man.
This is like, okay. I'm not dedicated Jewish, but I do have family members who are Jewish. That's the most Jewish phraseology I've ever heard. It's like when Paul Heyman said at the beginning of the documentary how he funded his first business he ever had, and if you haven't seen that, Paul Heyman, when he first started out in wrestling, he ran a movie poster delivery company. So he got like a really nice printing press, and he'd print off these movie posters and sell them to movie snobs, much like the ones behind me. So he was really young, like, and he was like, so I took my bar mitzvah money and did, what all nice young Jewish boys do. I invested my bar mitzvah money in a business.
It would appear that they did not. You son of a bitch.
Done. You're letting the chips fall on the keyboard again. Stop eating potato chips.
It is beaver teeth, is what it is.
I don't know why you think we're wrestling. Even though we have wrestlers in wrestling boats, in wrestling tights, in a wrestling ring. I don't know why you think we're wrestling. He's said it several times. WWE is not wrestling. It's entertainment. I'm like, yes, it's entertainment through the form of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he has to, I don't know. Look at him. Look at that. Let's figure out where we're going with you. No.
What?
Here comes Mr. Conspiracy Theory. Let this gimmick die. Please.
Apparently, Sammy really likes this gimmick himself.
How long has he been doing this? Logan Paul.
I believe since he lost the title.
Logan Paul, trailblazer entrepreneur. Sure. He had the idea for a boxing match. It's a sport he never tried before. Yes. He just ripped off what Conor McGregor did literally the year before and just did it, and now he's a trailblazer. Oh. I would love it if they just released a full documentary.
I think they're going to. Apparently, they're supposed to.
Oh my god. Live reaction to that.
Mm-hmm.
Posing. Sami Zayn.
I love Sami Zayn so much. Now, despite the fact that I claim I love.
Poisoned by the fact that jet fuel can't melt steel beams. It was poisoned by the fake moon landing. It was poisoned by the microbodies in vaccines that the government can control.
Whew, you are really digging into this one, aren't you?
I would just love it if you went all the way with every single conspiracy theory. It was poisoned by the 1,000-foot hole in Russia, where if you go to the bottom, you can hear the screams of hell. Just like keep going with it. Please, God, let someone reveal himself to be the one and just have all the conspiracy be true. I would love that if that was the end of this whole story. That Sammy was right and no one listened.
If anyone should challenge Roman, it's no, it should not be Roman versus Sammy. Those gimmicks don't line up for a feud. That square peg, round hole.
Okay, guys.
What a time to go to commercial.
I'm so tired of hearing your Progressive. A very competitive rate for insurance.
If this is all building to Sammy finally giving it this whole conspiracy thing, and he and Kevin Owens team up to win the tag titles, it's worth it for me.
But it's not building to that.
Oh, I'm aware that it's not. I'm just saying that's what I would like to see.
I don't care about your stuffed crust pizza, Papa John's.
Oh, yeah, didn't Mortal Kombat come out today?
It's April 23rd.
23rd. Okay. So that will be a week from today.
And also, like, I would love it if, like, eventually Sammy got so into conspiracies he started screaming, Vince McMahon is secretly a lizard in a mask!
Oh, that'd be great.
Just, like, go all the way to that. Aliens run the military!
Sorry, I haven't told you this.
I believe him if he said Vince McMahon is just a lizard in a realistic mask.
So I haven't told you this. I booted up 2K19 today because I needed to record some ARW.
Yeah.
I decided to go ahead and remove those that we had lost from Universe.
Uh-huh.
God, it was sad. It's always sad having to do that.
I guarantee you, though, if we get to the point where we do the AEW Universe mode, you're going to add them all back.
Oh, I didn't mod them out of the game. I just took them off the rosters. The only people I mod over are legends and people that I never want to use in any kind of series ever for reasons. And I mod over legends because I'm not a legends guy. I don't play as the legends. I don't like to play against them. There are some I keep around in case we want to do like one-off appearances with them, but that's about it. Oh, joy. If only we had a pay-per-view that is literally titled after WrestleMania rematches. Can this one... I love Sammy and Kevin. I love watching them wrestle. But I saw it the other night. I don't need to see it. So my issue with Sammy and Kevin is they ran it into the ground in 2016 after Battlegrounds. Like, they did it like another 10 times.
Yeah. Zander
After their final match.
Having to take the guys off the roster today.
I will remember you. Will you?
All right, let's not get copyright claimed.
It's a copy. It's a cover.
Has not stopped YouTube from getting me before.
Sammy, the key is to get tattoos. Okay, that dude with the red background is pro. Look at him. That dude knows what is up.
Where, the one you can only see like the top of his head?
No, there's a guy in the front of the Thunderdome. Look at him.
Oh, I see him now.
That dude knows what he's doing. He's dialed in. Do I like country music? Well, that was more just an acoustic cover. I like old country music. Like old country. Like real country. I don't like new country music. What's called stadium country music. I don't like the a dirt road, a cold beer, blue jeans, red pickup. I'm not a fan of that.
I have no comment on country music. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't like it at all. I don't like new country music at all. Old country, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, I love it, but
So here's my issue with country.
Okay.
I, rode with Bo, my great granddad, so much, and he always had on the Southern music radio station from our town. I can't say the radio station then because then
we wasn't on like outlaw country where they play actual like old country.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I remember a lot of new country being on it.
Okay.
Stadium country. So I heard that on the radio almost every day for 16, 17 years before I got my own car. So it's kind of been burned into my brain to the point where I will catch myself singing along to it if I hear it sometimes. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, speaking about like the sexual appeal of farm equipment is not.
That's not what I'm talking about. There's a select few.
You're sexy.
No, I hate that song.
Also, okay. You know that song, You Make Me Want to Roll My Windows Down and Cruise? Mm-hmm. You know that song?
Yeah, it was in WWE. It was in the 2K game.
Screw everything about that song. Because Try Some Country Boys Can't Survive. I have mixed opinions on that song. I actually like the song, fine, but that's like in the midpoint of like when country music changed. Because that song came out late 80s, so that was like in the crux of when country music changed fundamentally from what it used to be into what it is.
I don't want to comment on that commercial because I don't want to seem racist.
What commercial?
So here's why I don't want to say it. I want to say it was K-pop commercial for the Samsung 21.
Oh.
I want to say that was K-pop, but if they were not of Korean descent and were not Korean, and I just called someone that was by the wrong ethnicity, then holy hell, I'm canceled.
I hate that music simply because, like, if you know anything about the lifestyle that those artists have to live under, it's like just utterly unacceptable. Like every part of their life is regimented.
And now I'm seeing.
I hate to crush K-pop like fangirls' dreams. If you look into how they live, they practically live like slaves.
So I'm now seeing a commercial for Fight Club in which I have seen Snoop Dogg, Marshmallow, and Jake Paul. And I like none of that.
But also Chuck Liddell and Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson is the turning point on that for me because I love Mike Tyson.
I love Chuck Liddell. Iceman. But anyway, so anyway, back to that story. So I went for middle school. Zander and I attended the same middle school for a little bit. And you know how Zander says we live in a small town in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It is like relatively urbanized. It's a relatively big town. Like to give you an idea, like our high school had nearly 2,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a pretty big school. So, but when I went to middle school, I went to a different town that is buttfuck. Like, it is nowhere. So nowhere that my bus home picked up, like, I think 3rd grade, maybe 2nd grade, all the way to high school. That's how small we're talking. And how it worked was you sat in the bus depending on the grade. So all like the youngest kids, they'd sit in the front. The middle school kids would sit in like the middle to middle back area, right? And the high schoolers, which by that time most of them had a car, so there weren't that many. They got to sit in the back, like the actual back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but all the little kids love the "You Make Me Want to Roll My Windows Down and Cruise" song. So imagine a group, because like there was like large families who lived in that area who were like very country. Imagine a group of like 12 small children singing in unison, "You Make Me Want to Roll My Windows Down and Cruise" every day.
That would be maddening. That is also why I have hatred towards
our bus ride. That was my life.
So, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are still wrestling, for those curious, but I have a similar story of why I hate very specific music. Mainly why I hate pop music. Well, modern pop music, because I think a lot of people know my favorite song of all time is a pop song. But I hate a lot of modern music. First of all, I just don't think modern music's that original. Second off, I worked at Toys R Us for 2 years, for those that don't know. Toys R Us had about 15 songs. And we would have those same 15 songs for about 3 months at a time. Maybe longer. And I worked at that store for 8 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week, depending on the week. Imagine hearing those same songs every single day for 8 hours a day. That is why I have a strong disdain towards so many songs.
I have that same feeling towards like. So here's the thing. Most places I've worked alone, so I could turn off or not have music in there. Not when I worked at a Dollar General. Have you ever gone and listened to the music in a Dollar General?
No, I've only ever gone to a couple Dollar Generals, and it's been very recently.
Okay, so I must have heard "I Set Fire to the Rain." They got something about like "I set fire to
I know
the
what song you're talking
rain"
about.
1,000 times in 3 months. It came on like 8 times a day. And that is when I was working shorter shifts there. I was working like 4-hour shifts. And it would come on like 8 times. I'm not lying. I'm not being facetious.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, ooh.
Counting down to Raw to see what happens with that cliffhanger from this week. Well, we'll just have to see what we have planned for you guys. Hello, Apollo.
So did you hear that?
Yeah,
And like 3, 2.
that was someone in the production telling him when it was time to go back to the promo. Commander Aziz. All right, then. Don't hate it.
Please use your gimmick to bring back the actual Intercontinental Championship design.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I know it won't happen.
Oh boy, the Street Profits versus Ziggler and Rude. I haven't seen this match before.
Okay, we get to see Montez Ford wrestle, which is always fun.
Montez Ford is the only superstar of the modern era that could get a fucking cup over.
I mean, Chris Jericho is still like an active part of the business. He could get a
Okay.
cup over.
Only guy in WWE. How about that? Why are we putting down a carpet? They're about to have a title match.
Oh, okay.
I'm down with that.
Okay, I've just never seen a tag team like this where it's so clear when they break up who's going to be the star.
You say this. Think of who's going to be in control when they break up. And Ray, don't you know Angelo Dawkins is big? And Montez Ford is comparatively small. So therefore, Angelo Dawkins is the one that we need to push.
Then, like, okay, let me rephrase. The one that's the most obviously the star. Like, the most
Very
naturally a star. Like, there's been some tag teams where I could, like, call if they broke up who is actually going to be the star of the group.
Otis and Tucker, for example.
I actually thought Tucker could get a good run in, but whatever. The second I saw him, I knew Murphy was going to go a lot farther than Blake if given the opportunity.
Yeah. I'll mention them, even though they're not with the company anymore. Enzo and Cass, I think we both knew which one was going to be more pushed by WWE based on their personality.
Yeah. Even though I think Kaz is a lot better in the ring.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I can't really show that. I actually think I might be able to show this somehow. I have altered the the wall in front of me a little bit. I've taken down all those random 8x10s, or not even 8x10s, like 8x5s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I mainly took them down because I couldn't really, I didn't have a good organization for them. I took the sign you gave me down until I can find a better place for it as well, and until I can make it work.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't know the lights on that thing would be so bright.
Yeah. So just, if you get a notification about a DM on the LS11 Universe Twitter, just ignore it. I had to send it to myself. That way I could join the StreamYard on my phone. So I've taken down all those photos. And I'm sure there'll be some people a little upset that the wall of friendship, as it had become known as, is gone. But like, the wall of friendship was there so you guys could see yourselves in the background. At this point, mute myself here. At this point, it couldn't be seen. So, all right, let's see. Whoa. All right. Can I flip my camera around? Here we go. Ray, I don't think you've seen these, so. My new prints that I got made.
Make sure you lower the camera soon. We're going to get copyright struck.
It's fine. It was just hidden enough. Or it was just blurred enough. But yeah, got myself some prints. Power Girl, Gambit Rogue, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Sonic, Iron Man, Zatanna, and Doctor Doom. And I've actually got a couple more on the way because I bought some from my girlfriend too. I bought myself a couple because the guy was doing a special on his site. Got my girlfriend some because she's a big comic fan as well. And I figured she might like some. Plus, we're going to live together at some point in the near future anyway, so we can just put them all on one wall.
No! Angelo, I get it. You're trying to get over. Don't say the word spring cleaning right now.
Not right now. He was told to say it, and we know that.
Bad choice of words, Vince. Okay, I commend the people in the Thunderdome who actually brought solo cups because they were like, yeah!
Oh, no. WWE's like, they've got a guy talking to you if you're in the Thunderdome the whole time. And when the Street Profits come out, they're like, have your solo cups ready. Have your solo cups ready. And so now if the Street Profits are going to be on the show, they tell people in advance to go get a solo cup. Because the Street Profits will be on the
I don't
way.
have solo cups.
Well, then you're going to get kicked from the Thunderdome for not being prepared. Apparently, a lot of people left during this match for some reason. Like, a lot of people were leaving the stadium at this point. So they missed the best match of night one. They missed one of the two best matches of night one.
Yeah.
I will argue that Rollins Cesaro was just a bit better than Banks Belair. I loved Banks Belair, don't get me wrong. But I liked Rollins Cesaro.
The sleeper hit of WrestleMania to me will go down Sheamus versus Riddle.
Oh, that was such a great match. I don't think anyone expected it to be as great as it was.
No, but I don't think anyone's going to be talking about it.
Especially not since they buried Matt Riddle on Raw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, don't replay any of the commentary because Michael Cole fucked it up.
Yeah. I'll never understand why in these video packages they always cut to black during the 1, 2, 3.
Maybe it's like a rights thing.
Maybe.
And Montez, you wearing those khakis out there with your wife, you look great.
You look great. No criticisms towards you. You look great, dude. Love Montez Ford.
Okay, I'm just saying, the guy with the red background is prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did he have 2 solo cups, he had 2 blue solo cups.
Oh,
This dude is ready.
he gets it.
Yeah. Look at, he has 2 blue solo cups. Okay. Okay, to be fair to Bianca, though, and Sasha, people have started leaving when the main event is starting at WrestleMania for the last few years.
True.
Like, ever since WrestleMania 32, it's been a trend to leave during the main event.
Chevy says, I'm going to miss the streams, man. Look, man, I can't watch Raw, NXT, and SmackDown every week. I have more stuff to do than put aside 7 hours a week to watch WWE.
Not just that, we want to maintain our sanity.
Yeah, if Raw gets any worse than it was this week, I can never watch again. I managed to go years at a time without watching Raw, and I saw why this week.
I mean, like, no wonder it constantly dips under 2 million viewers. I'm really gonna shout out people in the Thunderdome who I'm liking. Girl with red hair and giant solo cup, you're into it. You seem like you're into this.
She also looks like she's sitting in a wrestling ring.
Oh my god.
Oh, hang on.
Pumping the fake booze! Pumping the fake booze! Vince, they cheered Sasha at WrestleMania. You have to keep control. I now control the audience. I control the world. I think I've discovered on Vince McMahon books. He orders the well-done steaks with ketchup he often enjoys and closes his eyes and sprays the ketchup all over the well-done steak. And he looks down and looks for messages within the well-done steak covered in ketchup. And then, just as he looks at that, he starts writing down what he sees and hands it to the writing staff and say, "Look at this man." He's like, "I'm sorry, pal. More protein." Vince McMahon snorts protein powder like Vince McMahon snorts cocaine in the 80s. Now it's just protein powder cut with a little bit of cocaine.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Just a little bit. Just enough to taste. Well, if it was going to be Cesaro versus Jey Uso anyway, why not have the tag team title match main event SmackDown? Because after all, it's a title match.
Because, Ray, he's main event Jey Uso. Look, guys, I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion, I can't get behind Jey Uso as a main eventer.
I can get behind it fine. But if you're going to have two guys who up until recently were mid-carders, why not have the title match main event the show?
No idea. Good Lord.
This feud's not over, is it?
No, I'm okay with that. So long as it goes back to... So long as it now follows the Sasha Banks is pissed off and Bianca Belair is great story. Instead of, we're going to coexist as friends.
Guy in orange shirt, you're amazing.
He's just vibing. He's a looped video clip, but he's just vibing.
He's dancing with the cuss. Are you ready for a good?
They replaced him at the last second.
No, did you see what they replaced him with? It was a dude taking a massive hit from a joint. He was going like, and they're like, cut it! I'm so glad I was watching that. It's like the video of taking the "Are you ready for a good time?" guy and just going to this dude sitting on his couch just going.
So did you hear that the Bella Twins spot was supposed to be the Becky Lynch return?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but WWE decided they wanted to hold off on the Becky return. Because why have a return in front of actual people?
Because, Zander, you want to know honestly? If she returns, they're not going to want to watch Charlotte.
Rematch at Backlash. No, it's not going to be a rematch at Backlash. You know why it's not going to be a rematch at Backlash? It's going to be a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash.
And then we're going to take it all the way to next year with WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Why are you playing their music again?
In case you forgot who they were.
Bobby Roode is like such a better name than just Robert Roode.
So they've gone back to "I'm here to show the world" instead of that combined theme they had at one point. Good Lord, Dolph. It ain't working, pal.
Dolph and Bianca just tie hair.
Dolph, it just ain't working, dude.
And then like Dolph goes down to his knees as Bianca's hair lights up and she slowly overpowers Dolph Ziggler. No, I fully believe that they didn't want Becky to return because, like, okay, there's a lot of people. I think everyone prefers most wrestlers over Charlotte, but they sit there and take Charlotte. They won't sit there and take Becky getting buried by Charlotte because people love Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm convinced they're just keeping her off TV because they want Charlotte to be over. And I think Charlotte probably resents Becky a lot for getting more popular than her. Honestly, Dolph needs to retire. He's fine. He just needs to stop trying so hard.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no, Dolph doesn't need to retire. Dolph just needs a refresh. And that refresh is not becoming random friends with Bobby Roode. That refresh is not teaming up with Drew McIntyre. It's not, It's not, it should have been me. That was more Seth Rollins than Dolph Ziggler when I did that, but you get my point. So, yeah, no. And if anything, I would rather Dolph just get going and go. Like, I know Dolph's never going to leave WWE. Dolph's there for life, apparently. Like, it just seems like Dolph's content working for WWE, and that's perfectly fine. Hello.
Hi.
So I was saying, I think Dolph's perfectly content working for WWE until he's done. But personally, I'd like to see Dolph do a run of the other promotions.
Maybe.
Hasn't been relevant since 2015. I'll argue that his stuff with Drew in 2017, I believe it was.
2018.
Yeah, when they were a team. And his 2016 feud with The Miz was great.
It was one of the feuds of the year. It was great.
2017, he didn't do much, but his stuff with Drew and Rollins and everyone in 2018, I actually really liked that. I think we all are well aware of how I feel about Bobby Roode getting a singles run. We all know how much I want it. So much I, in fact, made a 30-minute rant about it.
Hey, Zander, what screams championship more than anything to you? I'll tell you what. Huh?
I don't know. You tell me.
Velcro. Velcro on the back of a championship belt. That says class and prestige.
Well, apparently it's so that they can take them off and put them on easier. But whatever.
They're referees.
I'm talking about WWE. I'm talking about the wrestlers.
They're wrestlers. They should know how.
So you think Street Profits are winning it back tonight?
Hopefully. I wouldn't be unhappy if they did.
I don't think I care enough.
Like, okay, like this episode hasn't been great. It's been pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like just like, run-of-the-mill SmackDown episode.
Yeah.
This is a much better show than Raw was, though.
Let's put Ray and Zander on a 10-day contract for WWE commentary. I think we could do it.
How about no?
I think we could do it.
My rants get too extreme. I'd be yelled at every night.
Nope, not gonna hit that low hanging fruit.
What?
I was gonna make a joke, but I was like, that might be an ill taste. I was gonna say, yelled at every night. Didn't you grow up that way? That seems ill taste. Okay, apparently it wasn't poor taste. Okay, apparently it was actually good.
I don't mind people joking about my childhood. I don't give a fuck.
I know. I just don't want to be that friend. Or how about this, Reg? Yelled at all night. It'll be like the dinner incident of March 27th, 2021.
That's funny.
Yeah. And we are never telling that story. That is an inside story between me and Ray. That is a story for when I have moved out of this house. How about that?
Oh yeah, that will be that will be a podcast.
That will be an episode of the podcast, which
you will sit there and be shirtless the entire time for it. Just so we can recreate the mood that was going on that night.
Oh no.
I'm like Pete Davidson. I don't care if you joke about my past.
Okay, good to know.
Like someone said, this is so fucked up. But then again, you just made a joke about what I went through as a kid, so I'm not.
Go for it.
Someone said to Pete Davidson, it was, in case you know, his father was a firefighter who passed away on 9/11 saving people. And he was at a roast with Snoop Dogg. He's like, Snoop Dogg, the only person who's inhaled more smoke than you is Pete's father in the World Trade Center.
Ouch. See, I thought you were about to make fun of my childhood. I was about to like, go for it. I don't care.
I don't know enough experiences.
There's not much, is the thing.
Yeah. Like with me, it's like well.
Oh, hey, John Stamos.
Like, I may honestly one day like write a movie script just about my experiences growing up.
Fucking do it. What was I about? I said fucking do it. What was I about to say? I had something I was going to say. And
Okay, remember that comment I made about your stepdad? How whenever I meet your stepdad, because of the stories you tell, like how I'd say, really, Zander's stepdad? There's no walls, and I doubt you can pick me up. So, what are you gonna do here?
Oh no, we're not gonna elaborate on that. Let's just say there's a reason I don't live with my stepfather. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's a podcast story one day. That's a Zander and Ray get emotional podcast story one day. Oh, hey, it's that same 8 seconds of footage of 2K22.
Okay. This joke's messed up. I'm gonna say anyway. Ray's first hot box was when he was in his mom's stomach.
laughing at that? Oh man. What was I about to say? Where was this story going? I have lost it now. Both up here and like mentally lost it. Shit. Shit. Oh, I know what I was going to say. There's a reason why you don't know much about my childhood. Neither do I. And here's why. Do you remember Too Many Xanders 9, Ray?
Yeah.
The last man standing match Alan and I did?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Alan and I thought it would be cool if I hit him with an RKO because that was his finisher and he followed by hitting me with a pedigree because it was my finisher?
Yes.
Alan didn't let go.
Are you
Alan
saying
planted me with all of my weight and all of his weight on the dirt right here.
Uh-huh.
I experienced a little bit of memory loss from that. And that, kids, is why they say don't try this at home. Because we tried it at home and it ended up with all of us injured at some point.
Yep.
I ended up with a bloodied ear once. I knocked your nose out of place.
Yeah. Let me think. There was a few others. There was a time I literally hurt myself the day before filming.
Yeah, you cut your hand open in multiple places with a knife.
Yep. Okay, I would like to point out though, I unintentionally Too Many Xanders 9, if you go back and watch it.
Which I don't recommend.
I almost would, because you get to see like a little snapshot of our friendship. You get to see Alan plant Zander, right? And Xander's like out for a few seconds. I was like yelling at the camerawoman, who I won't like say her name because we're not friends with her. I was like, "Stop filming! Stop! We need to take a break. Zander is hurt." And she was just like, "No, we're gonna keep rolling." So
that was the pedigree, right?
Yeah. So I was like, Zander, I hope to God you can just because my plan literally was to. Well, the second I saw you hit, I was telling her to stop because my plan, because he kind of made me like assistant director, so I was supposed to be like directing what was going on, was that you get plant when saying you got planned. I was like, okay, we're gonna stop shooting. We're going to look back at the footage and see the position that Alan and Zander were in, and just cut at a different angle. That way, it just looked like we did an angle change instead of just cutting the scene.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to do that, so I was like, I hope to God Zander can get up by 9.
I think I would have been just fine, but last man standing is like 1, 2, but Ray was going 1, 2, 3, 4.
But by definition, that's what's supposed to be. Oh, it's over. I think it's over. Nope. Okay,
My brother was used to bomb me through a glass table. I had to be hospitalized. I can't say we ever did that. We ever went that serious.
Okay. Okay. So Alan spikes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have this thing called the Subscriber in the Bank briefcase in this series, and I was Mr. Subscriber in the Bank. So I run in, I cash in, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins style. I'm loading him up for the dirty deeds, and I actually let go. I do let go on the way down, right? Fuck. Anyway.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So I actually let go. Alan somehow did not register I let go, or it may have let go too late because he goes in the dirt.
I don't have that video clip anymore. I would show it.
It is like
Hopefully, we'll get a new team to challenge Ziggler and Rude. The SmackDown Tag Division is a whopping 4 teams right now, so you know. You know Michael Cole does not particularly like Pat McAfee, right?
Huh?
Have you heard the story about when Pat McAfee almost walked out of WWE because of Michael Cole?
No.
So I believe it was WrestleMania 35. Pat McAfee was on the pre-show, and he was wearing the suit with the shorts, if you remember that.
Uh-huh.
And 20 minutes before the show, Michael Cole comes and goes, "You can't wear that at WrestleMania." And Pat McAfee's like, "I can." And Michael was like, "Vince will not let you do that." And Michael Cole's sitting there scolding him, and Pat McAfee's like, "And Michael fucking Cole does not get to talk to me that way." And then Pat McAfee's like, and so I told him, call Vince. And he calls Vince on WrestleMania Day. And it's like, Pat's wearing a suit with shorts. And it's whatever it's called. There's actually a name for it. And apparently Vince's reaction was, Michael Cole was like, you know about this? And Vince was like, yeah, I'm cool. I know what he's wearing. It's fine. Wait until Jimmy comes back who says won the tag championships and join Roman. I would be happy for that, but I don't know if Jimmy's going to come back anytime soon. I could see Jimmy returning tonight, though.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, the dogs are barking, which means I got to let them in 2 minutes. So wait and see if it goes to a commercial or what, and then I'm going to run to the back door and let them out. Or let them in, I mean. We've got to go to a commercial. Waiting. Yep. All right. I'll be back. Oh my God, what have I just walked into? Hang on, I don't have my earbuds in yet before you tell me. So I don't know if you had the same commercial I did, but I walked in to see a puppet of Donald Trump arguing with a puppet of Joe Biden, and I don't want to know what that was. Bellator. It's UFC, but Diet Coke. It's the diet equivalent of UFC.
It's the TNA equivalent of UFC.
That's what I meant. I didn't understand this. If Cesaro wins against Jay, does that mean he gets a title shot? I don't think they clarified. It's WWE, so do you ever expect them to clarify? Because they don't.
So, here you go, children.
Oh, you found it.
Yes, I did. I'm trying to line up my finger right now. Dang it.
Don't worry, it's about your replay.
Boom!
You murdered the guy.
He murdered you!
We're not talking about who murdered who here.
So, to be fair, though, like, the area I had chosen to do it, because if you live 5v4, it's like a soft, grassy area, right? And I was moving him towards that, right? And then, like, Alan, who we recently gotten back into contact with, hopefully at some point we could do, like, some sort of collaboration with, show him around, because he's the third man. But anyway, so I'm setting him up to do it on the grass, right? And he like starts pushing because he wants like a little bit back and forth, and then eventually we're over like this 4-foot wide dirt patch. I'm like, why? And he's like, do it to me here. I'm like, why have you chosen this, Alan? Like, Alan. Okay, you and I may have gotten like the closest to police being called on us. Alan got really close by himself on multiple occasions of getting the police called on our filming. Because there's nothing illegal about filming in a public park, you know?
Yeah.
The issue was when you bring real swords, very, very real swords, and start fighting.
I don't know who would have done that. Right?
Your idea, not my idea.
We're not. Hey. Whose idea it was is not the point here.
And then there was Alan. So Alan liked to have like to envision himself as a high flyer. So what we did was, if there's like this little parking fence, it's very small, made out of wood, and we encouraged him to jump off that. But the fence, like the proper fence, was about 4 times taller, and he wanted to jump off that.
Many times.
This is a weak fence. This isn't like a very secure fence. It encloses a soccer field, right? And that's what we filmed. We filmed on. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a soccer field.
It's essentially what it's become.
Yeah. So what was funny was, like, we'd have to like calculate, and since we filmed it at my place, we'd have to calculate when we'd film. And be like, okay, we can film on this day, but we have to get here before at this time, because at 3 all these people show up and start playing soccer, so we have to be there before 3. That way they see us and don't come onto the field.
Yeah, that didn't stop them after you and I stopped filming together. Literally, a guy came at us with a lawnmower during the filming of Too Many Xanders 12 because we were in the center of the field. And so he started just mowing the lawn right in front of us, like walking in front of the camera and everything, so that we would move. And then as soon as he was done, they set up 2 soccer goals. Which is why, if you ever see Too Many Xanders 12, it takes place in the back of the park, behind the fence.
Yeah. So, but Alan had the neighbors hating me because what he was doing was every month to 2 months, he was climbing on top of this fence and it was ever bending because he
Yeah.
kept climbing on top of it.
Yeah. Don't care. I'm sorry, I just can't. Jey Uso doesn't come off as a serious threat to me.
I'm Guardians of the Galaxy it right now. I'm Thanos. I'm not going to deal with it myself. I'm going to send my lackeys and sit in a chair.
Yup.
Any more? Okay, so eventually, we moved out of the park, and there's this little patch behind my backyard, and it was all thorns and bushes, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so eventually it just became my job to get everything out of there.
It was not your job at first. Your uncle was supposed to do it.
He just didn't do it.
Yeah.
So I did it one day, and it took me forever.
Yeah, and you did it while we were at Alan's job interview. He said it was only going to take 20 minutes.
No,
Okay.
So this area was wrapped up in vines and oak, right? So I had to get trees cut down, and I was doing this whole big thing. And eventually, I was like, "Scott, could you mow the area, my uncle?" And he was like, "Sure, I'll do that, no problem." I get home, he hasn't done it, and that's when I had to cut it while you guys went out to this job interview.
Right, and so this is the day of the last ever real life Zandermania. We did one live action Zandermania. It was a long time ago. We don't talk about it. And we were supposed to start filming it at 3:30.
Yeah.
We all piled into my car and went to your house to film it. But then suddenly, oh, Alan's got a job interview this day. Don't worry, man. It's only going to take me 20 minutes. Okay? We get there at 3:45. They don't call him back for the interview. 4 o'clock. Still haven't called him back for the interview. 4:30. Still haven't called him back for the interview. 5. They finally call him back. We sit in me and the other guy, we won't say his name because I don't talk to him anymore. Sit in the car for 25 minutes before Alan comes out and he's like, all right. Yeah, and this is my Alan impression, by the way. Yeah, we're good to go. Sorry it took so long. And I was like, all right. Yes, Zach, that's what we're talking about. And we were like, okay, maybe we'll have some daylight. We got 4 matches to do. And so me, Alan, and the other guy sped off to my grandparents' house, picked up my younger brother, who was supposed to be there for part of the video, sped back over to your house, which was just 2 seconds away. I got back there, and we start the first match, and the sun's starting to set.
Yeah.
Strike 1.
Now, mind you, I'm doing this, and the whole time, you guys, not you, but the friends, at the time, I hadn't confronted all my mental health problems.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the depths of a very bad stint of a mental health issue.
Yeah.
So I was a lot more sensitive back then.
Yeah.
I'm a lot less sensitive now, but I was very sensitive back then. And they would make fun of me relentlessly. And so I told them if they want to make fun of me, they can leave. And I know you, I think you kind of took it the wrong way. I was like, I just don't want them making fun of me. And you said it's a joke. I'm like, well, they're in my house.
Yeah. Well, so for those who don't know, usually I'm the butt of the jokes in the friend group. So that's where I was coming from. I was like, look, man, all most of you do all day is shit on me. So I don't know why, but every friend group I'm in, I become the butt of the joke very easily.
Yeah. But do you kind of have to admit, with you is like little jokes. With them and me,
Oh, yeah.
these
I'm
jokes
aware.
were very hurtful jokes.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So we speed back over to your house. We get the first match done. Sun's already going down. I'm like, all right, these next two matches, we're going to wrap up quick, and then we're going to do the main event. So you go into I tell you, just go in your house, get what you need to do done. Because you were doing demon paint for it.
Yeah.
I mean, good that he's getting pushed, Zach. That's all that really has to be said. So the next two matches are essentially squash matches. One of them is a straight squash match. The other one is about 3 minutes. My younger brother is supposed to be the referee for the squash match. And the match is supposed to go, it's Slender Man versus the Doctor, Zander. And the Doctor is supposed to knee him in the ribs once. Slender counters into a Hell's Gate. The Doctor pushes him off, hits him with a running knee. 1, 2, 3. My brother didn't listen when I said that. And he saw the Hell's Gate, thought that Slender tapped out, and I covered Slender as the Doctor, or the Doctor covered Slender for a solid 10 seconds before just going, count!
Yeah. Now, mind you, I'm not there for any of this.
Yeah,
I
you don't
am
really
in
know
my
this, do you?
bathroom, painfully, like trying to make this demon paint work.
Yeah. And so the next match we did was the hardcore title. And it was supposed to be one character got replaced by another, and then that character wins it, and then the fourth guy from our group made his return to the series and wins it there because it's 24/7 rules. And it falls apart because first 5 seconds of the match, I fall into a rock and cut my hand open. And I'm bleeding out of the hand the whole fight.
Yeah, mind you, at this point, thankfully nothing happened. I'm telling Zander, dude, you have to go get a tetanus shot.
Yeah. Anyway.
So you want to know the funny thing? At first, I just tried to freehand the demon makeup.
Yeah,
So
I remember that.
In when it was where I thought it was going. That didn't work. So I had to scrub my face down. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do base of red and then paint around the base of red, right? That wasn't working either. So eventually I kept to then do that. At this point, I'm like 10 minutes till I had 30 minutes. I wasted the first 10 trying to freehand, another 10 applying the red, trying to make that work. So now I have to try to apply a base of completely white and then paint from there.
Yeah.
And I have a hair dryer. I'm just going, bzzz, and they're outside. They don't know I'm doing it. Like Xander.
Yeah, I've never heard this story.
Yeah, Xander knows I'm doing this. I'm sitting here like with a hair dryer, just like, like just trying to get this base to dry so I can start putting paint on top. And
meanwhile, outside, we know we are coming up on the main event. We have a triple threat, me, Ray, and Alan, and we have like a 20-minute thing planned for it. We film Alan's entrance. Alan has a Goldberg-style entrance. We roll up in my car. and Zander number 5 marches into the ring.
Or the backyard clearing.
Yep. Also, one issue I really have with
Okay, hello, fake Logan Paul.
yeah, the trolls are out tonight, huh? Anyway, so one thing I haven't talked about, yeah, I see it. The opening match was a ladder match. My younger brother, so this is 2017. This was literally a week before I started my relationship. So this was February 2017. This was 4 years ago. My brother's 10. My brother, we don't have time to fix any of this because we're running out of daylight. My 10-year-old brother just keeps inserting himself into the video.
To be fair, he's 10.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, yeah. Like, first match, he pulls the champion off the ladder so the other guy can win. Second match, he messes up the count. Third match, he attacks the face this time during the entrance, and then assists the heel to the win. And it was weird. So we get Alan's entrance filmed. We start to do mine. I had like a Kylo Ren entrance, which is ironic as hell, given I don't like the character.
At the time, Force Awakens was big.
Yeah, exactly. And I was coming out to a Star Wars theme. We were getting the stuff set up for mine. Pitch black outside. So the only thing you can see of me, because I'm wearing a black robe and the Kylo Ren mask, only thing you can see is the lightsaber. As I'm coming out to the Imperial March, which was not in Episode 7.
And then I come outside and with the demon makeup on.
And we're using like a final deletion lamp at this point.
Yeah, we're using a final deletion lamp that I had.
Yeah.
And the camera's running out, and my GoPro is dead. I thought it was alive. It's dead. If we had the GoPro, filming would have gone a lot better.
Yeah.
Because then we could have just set up the GoPro to be stationary and film from there. But anyway, I come out, and I think the paint looks terrible. But strangely, everyone else thinks it looks good. You remember?
Not everyone.
You even came up to me and said, okay, looks better than I thought it would.
That did not mean it looks good. That means it looks better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. But to be fair, in the darkness, you could not tell that much.
Right. And so the match is like 6 minutes, I think, in the end. We'll answer that in a second, Zach. So, we didn't have time to do a podcast this week, so we're just kind of doing the podcast tonight, it seems. So, yeah. We get like 6 minutes instead of 20. And the final spot, we redo it like twice because we fucked it up the first time. It's supposed to be Alan and I super kick Ray in stereo, and then Alan spins me around into an RKO. I can't fucking sell an RKO to save my life. Like, I think we all know this. I don't just drop. I fall to my knees and then fall over. I could take a stunner, but I should be taking stunners, not RKOs, is what it is. And so then we have to do these after-match promos to set up our next big show that wasn't ever going to happen, then it happened. Fight on the 4th, remember?
And this develops into a screaming match
Between me and you. Because originally it was supposed to be me and Alan one more time. That was going to be it. But then you start screaming at me.
No, Zander, because you agreed to me. Okay. No, Zander, you're not going to deny this. I'm not going to let you get out of this.
I have forgotten, so please remind me.
You said Alan one more time, right? And I said, well, if you're the one getting pinned, wouldn't it make sense for me and Alan to go one-on-one? And you said, okay, you're right. We're going to do another event where it's just you and Alan one-on-one. Then I can do one more time and like wrestle Christian or something.
That's fine.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that works. And then you just went and did your idea anyway, telling me we were going to do my idea. Then that's when I started yelling at you.
Right. So, the idea was then going to be me versus Ray in a number one contenders match. And so Ray's screaming at me, and I'm not getting the chance to fix everything because instead, Alan interrupts me and goes completely off the script. And he goes, No. You two number one contenders match. Next time I defend this is going to be against Sid, my 10-year-old brother. And we're like, what? None of us knew this was coming. He goes, and we said his name, and Christian. And we're like, huh? Triple threat, last man standing. And Ray and I, in sync, not planning this, go, how does that work? And so ultimately, Fight on the 4th came. And I won't talk too much about Fight on the 4th because we can skim through Fight on the 4th. Ultimately, Fight on the 4th comes. We started with Alan's title defense against Sid, and Christian didn't want to wrestle. So instead, we put Zander number 5, which is the Waluigi Zander, in there. Because he won a number one contenders match at the first ever video game Zandermania and never got a title match out of it. And so Alan wins that. And then Ray and I had our number one contenders match. And I won that because we were giving up the real life. We kind of saw the writing on the wall. We knew this wasn't going to work. So we were like, let's just get the belt back on me so I can do my video crap so I can always have the belt on for videos as my gimmick and all that. And we then did a filler match. We did 2 filler matches, I believe. And then me and Alan had our main event. I think Alan and I did pretty well, actually. I think we had a pretty fun backyard wrestling match. I will say the hardcore match that opened that video was the best thing on that video.
Because we had an idea. That was amazing. So we said, okay, triple threat hardcore. Let's do that. And essentially, Zander and I then just went to Dollar Tree and just started buying everything.
$20. $20 worth of crap.
Yeah.
Glow sticks, aluminum pans,
a broom,
a bucket,
a toy gun.
I still have the bucket. No, I just threw the bucket away a few weeks ago, actually, because it broke. Yeah, and I genuinely, that hardcore triple threat was a lot of fun. That's kind of what I wanted her Scramble to become, but we never got the time. And so, yeah, ultimately in the end,
mind doing one of those hardcore matches again because it's such a fun idea. I just love the idea of like just going into a Dollar Tree and just like finding all the weapons you can.
Yeah, I will say next time we need to get more aluminum pans and brooms because of how easy the dollar store brooms break over your back without actually hurting.
Oh my god, no! And you like swung. Like,
no, Alan swung. I didn't even touch it.
Alan swung, and I swear to God, the air broke it.
Yeah, you can see the clip where he swung it over Zander number 5's back. So I suppose we should finally answer these questions because Zach has asked, who are the hardest people to book in ARW and other than Fiend in normal universe? So for ARW, everyone is like the equal levels of hard to book if they're an actual like superhero because you don't want them to be jobbers. Mike Tyson's been pretty difficult to book since I brought him in. Real life people are always the hardest because how are you going to have a real life person beat a superhero like Arnold versus Captain America, for example? Ultimately, I'm going to say, weirdly, myself was the hardest person to book.
And then, as for Universe, I don't know.
Outside of the Fiend,
I mean, Lesnar's someone I don't enjoy booking.
Yeah, I actually like booking Lesnar in Universe, but I've just kind of stopped. Until he comes back in real life, I've just stopped. So it looks like no Roderick Strong tonight, by the way. Um,
Not that I don't enjoy booking him, but Karrion Kross can get hard to book.
yeah, Karrion Kross is one of those that's really difficult to book. Seth Rollins has been a challenge because of all his disciples fucking getting released. Speaking of, hello, Seth.
Seth, as usual, no notes. You look great.
He's really got the Bond villain thing going on. So it looks like this feud must continue between Seth and Cesaro. I saw the long black hair and for a split second was like, oh, Jimmy Uso's back. Never mind, Seth Rollins.
Okay, here's what I'm saying, though. Since he technically did beat Jimmy Uso.
You mean Jey Uso?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, Seth Rollins has been difficult to book because of all his disciples getting released, except for the one that we split him away from in Murphy. Like, I'm scared for Shane Thorne.
Okay, here's the thing. Cesaro versus Roman versus Seth in a triple threat, I'm not opposed to.
See, I was doing these screaming. I was doing the screaming Rollins promos in Universe before WWE was doing them.
He sounds like he's screaming at like a guy. He sounds like he's screaming like he lives in a motel and screaming at his friend who also lives in the motel about how he owes him $40.
Well, time to cancel my YouTube TV membership. And there we go. Thanks for trying YouTube TV. Goodbye, YouTube TV. Never again. Until next year's WrestleMania week. Well, I'll just use a different email account. You know how many fucking email accounts I have?
I have 3.
I have like 10.
You got some things you need to work out, buddy.
Yeah, and on that note, good night, everybody. I've been Zander.
I've been Ray.
And that was it.
It's over. Let's calculate how long. Before we go, Zander, one final tally. How long have we been streaming?
All right, let's find out.
In the last 9 days.
Let's find out, shall we? Okay.
Last 9 days. Let's figure it out.
All right. Let me go to YouTube Studio so I can see how long the NXT stream was. Okay. Hold on. I'm getting there. It's gonna have me signed into the wrong account, as usual. All right.
No, YouTube TV. I'm not interested in The Bachelorette. I'm just trying to cancel my subscription with you.
And
are you sure?
Okay. Hold on. And we've been going for 2 hours, and we'll just say 16 minutes here. So, we have officially, over WrestleMania week, streamed for 29 hours, 46 minutes, and 28 seconds. Ray?
So many Lord of the Rings extended editions.
I think this wraps up LS11 universe, the Snyder Cut.
All right, later, guys. Back to normal now.